Ready to embark on a journey of limitless curiosity? Join us on the Being Curious Show, where we curiously connect teachers and seekers in a safe space, exploring a vast array of topics that spark the flame of curiosity within you. We've created a community for thoughtful discussions where teachers share their wisdom and seekers explore the depths of their curiosity. It's a space where diverse perspectives come together, fostering connection and understanding. Our intention is simple: to ignite your curiosity and create a life that totally lights you up. Every conversation is a journey, a chance to explore, learn, and embrace the magic that life has to offer. Connect with the Being Curious Show on all major podcast platforms at the Edge Network, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Being Curious Show. Hey everybody, Kelly Wagner. Welcome to another edition of the Being Curious Show. Ooh, this is going to be a fun one. So, as you know, I get to talk to fascinating people all over the world on a regular basis in a curious space. If you watch my shows, we're clocking. I think we're getting close to 175. I'm so incredibly blessed, and it's fun to go through and navigate through the lens of curiosity, because these people that are crossing my path and crossing our path and inviting you in really spend a lot of time honing their craft, whether it's through education, whether it's through being an author of a book, whether it's climbing Everest, whatever it may be. They're really committed and they get very excited about coming on the show and sharing with you. So today we have Dr. Gail Van Kanegan, and she is the foundress. I love that. When I read that, I was like, she's a foundress. Of course she's a foundress of Midwest Energy Movement, LLC. And she's a healing arts professional. But you've got to check out her bio, you guys. Like this is impressive. And actually pre-show, I said, like, you're not a lady that just like went online and got a couple certificates. She is curious. She is a seeker. She is an educator. And look, anything you can tell that she wants to know more about, she jumps in and she learns about it. So she's a nurse practitioner, retired, author, Eden Energy Medicine advanced practitioner and faculty, a Reiki Master, a Shamanic Practitioner. I mean, just that alone, I would want to have a conversation. But no, there's more. Certified energy medicine 4 pathways professional, quantum healing, art of raising frequency practitioner and instructor, healing arts professional and workshop facilitator at the Hermitage Farm Center for Healing in Rochester, Minnesota. So we have energy, we have shamanism, we have art. I love the art, and I can't wait to dive more into Gail and how art is a frequency and an energy. But notice, everybody, that everything comes together in harmony and in frequency and synergy with Dr. Gail. And I'm just excited to invite her to the show. So without further ado, Dr. Gail, welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
This is going to be a good one. Okay, let's jump right in. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I have been doing energy healing since about the late 80s, before probably half this audience was born. And I've been a nurse since the early 80s. So I started to integrate energy healing with my nursing practice. And then I went on into being a nurse practitioner. So it wound up being integrated into my medical practice as well.
What hospitals did you work in locally?
Mayo Clinic in Rochester.
Mayo's a good one. Mm-hmm. And Mayo, yeah. And I love, and were you able to be open about what you were doing, or did you just kind of do it on the down low with your patients and your clients? Because moving energy, so I sold healthcare for, I was in healthcare for 17 years, and Mayo Rochester, or the mothership, was one of our major accounts. So I was down in Rochester all the time, and you could feel the different energies of the different buildings and the people you met and the energy of Rochester. So yeah. I'm curious about that.
Well, I wanted to have the energy embraced. I didn't want to go under the radar anymore. It's time to come out of the closet about this. So I educated my peers and I spoke to them in their language, in the language of research. So I brought together all the research and formatted it so that my medical colleagues could understand what I was talking about and make sense out of it, instead of it being something that was like woo-woo or whatever, you know. Yeah, so I worked my way in through that door, and then I started working on my colleagues to let them feel and experience it first. And they're like, oh my gosh, I feel so good. And one time there was a patient who had a very rapid heartbeat and his blood pressure was diving into the pit. And so I held some specific points on the heart meridian, and it brought his heart rate down to an almost normal rate, and his blood pressure came up. And all of this was on a cardiac monitor. And my physician colleague next to me nearly fell over and says, my God, now I am a believer. It is true. It works. So I had actual physical data there that could be seen by everyone in the room. And of course, kind of saved the guy's life for a while till we could get him where he needed to be.
Yeah. Okay, keep going. So you're a nurse practitioner. You had impact at Mayo, which, by the way, awesome. And I love that you got the buy-in of your peers, and then you got to show it in real time to a doctor. And we all know that, doctors might come in and they might not be as listening to to the team around, and they did. And you were able to showcase that and show it in real time. How beautiful.
Yeah, and it's about presenting things in the way people understand life to be in their
Right.
world. So I could speak both languages of the medical world and the energetic world. So I found a way to blend them together, and that's what I did. And I did that for as long as I was working there, and integrated it with the nurses as well. And we know nurses are always open to energy healing because we are so holistic. And so I taught the nurses everything I would do for the patients so that they could do those things for patients when I wasn't present, and taught them how to reduce stress and reduce pain and to get grounded, because that's the first thing that happens when we're stressed is we get ungrounded, and then our whole world is upside down, and there's no coming back until we reestablish that connection.
Well, and I don't know if some of our listeners know this, but there's some key hospital systems throughout the country that um, basically you go to be fixed. And please stop me if I go on a tangent. John Hopkins is one of them, but Mayo is one of them. People fly in from all over the world to Rochester, Mayo, to find out what's going on with them. So it's not like you're just at this small rural hospital and you've got a little of this and of that. Not only do you have the normal hospital functions and happenings, but then you have that other layer of energy and frequency and stress of people that are they're at Mayo for a reason.
Right. And their stress levels are extremely high. And everyone around them, we work in that stress environment the whole time we're present. So it's hard, and it unnerves us because we're trying so hard to help people who are stressed, and it's a challenge sometimes.
Yeah.
And the demands of healthcare are getting harder and harder for everyone. So I really focus on providing the basics for people when they're stressed. And that is to get grounded, to find their center, to go within their heart once again, instead of being always out in the external place, and to just breathe.
Right.
We forget to breathe when we get stressed, and we hold our breath, and then nothing works again.
No, I believe it. And everybody, why I went a little long and talking about Mayo and Rochester and Gail being a nurse is going to fold in later in the interview, and to be able to hold that kind of space in such a stressful environment is really going to show her gifts and abilities and her skills. Okay, so you're a nurse. You're at Rochester. You're creating white light and breathing and beautifulness there. Okay, then what? Because that's just part of your story.
That is part, yes. So I got very much involved in learning as much as I could about energy movement and what it's all about, and what makes up our bodies as far as our energetics go, and how many different energy systems we have within us. We have at least 12 different energy systems that are major that get unbalanced when we get stressed. So I learned everything I could about those systems and took certifications and spent many, many years studying and advanced concepts, and always trying to integrate the next level, because we're always changing. And each couple of months, there's a new stressor that comes forward. And I'm like, well, now how do I deal with that? You know, so always trying to improve myself and to keep myself in a good enough space to help others.
I love it. Okay. So then tell me a little bit about, I can see why Reiki, I mean, that would be an automatic, I would think, in your world and a skill set. What led you to shamanism? Because that's yummy. That's a fantastic layer to your I'm going your Swiss Army knife. No. You've got a toolbox of sharp tools. That's what you have.
I have one right here, as a matter of fact.
Of course you do.
Yes, it's a purba. It is a shamanic tool. I started learning about shamanic healing in 2006 when I moved to Rochester, as I became good friends with some beautiful women who practiced shamanic medicine and who taught it. And they introduced me to shamans. And so I started to study with shamans as well. It provides a whole different layer of awareness and the ability to help people heal, especially through spirit. And that's the whole concept around healing through shamanism, is we go through spirit to heal. Everything is on a spiritual level. We are spiritual beings, and we're just play acting in these physical bodies while we're here on earth, but we are really truly spirit. And so I go back into spirit mode. I go into that spirit world in the quantum field to connect and to get messages and to receive how am I going to help this person heal? How are we going to bring healing to this really stressed individual who is lost, and bring them back on path so that they can move forward with learning their goals of this lifetime. And it's
Ooh,
very,
you just said something really powerful, learning the goals of this lifetime.
yeah.
That is sacred. If more people knew that, like, go write a book on that. like, right? That is just, I just really want people to sit with that and resonate with it, because that is such a powerful statement.
We are here for a purpose. We came to this world with a purpose, and we forget that purpose on our way transitioning as, being conceived, and we have no knowledge of those purposes. We have to relearn those things.
That's so not fair. Couldn't we just get it like as a baby? Like, couldn't we just get like a little note with your checklist? Like, you're going to be doing this, this, and this. And I know I'm being funny with it, but like, oh, that would be so nice.
It would save us a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, and tears and stress. But that's not how we learn lessons either.
I know.
I'm just
like, oh, like, it'd be so nice. Just a little cheat sheet. Just maybe you get the cheat sheet when you're like 10.
That would be really good. I got some of that cheat sheet when I hit 60. So it comes along as you grow and learn and come into yourself. and learn by your mistakes and quit making them over and over and over again, like we do. When we learn from that mistake, we evolve, we grow, our vibration elevates, and we become a higher vibrating being. And then we are now open for taking in more, understanding more from that higher concept, the higher level that we really are attaining to be at.
Why does shamanism and Dr. Mary Newstrom's a friend of the show. We Fernando, the Aztec shaman, is a dear friend. Why does shamanism get such a bad rap? And it's not a bad rap, but why are people so resistant? Or they hear, it's kind of like when you hear the word witch, people get just like, right? And all a witch is a wise woman that takes manifestation and puts it into practice. I'm dumbing it down and I'm not giving it the full light as I am giving shamanism. But I have a shaman on the show right now, and I want to invite you to share a little bit of just how can we remove some of that resistance and the assumptions people make when you say shamanism.
It's about the unknown. It's if we can't put our hands around something, see it, feel it, taste it, move it, do this or do that, it's really hard to find trust in it and to believe in it. And so when we can't see something, we don't believe in it. And it's about that belief system that I'm in this box, that the only thing that exists is what's in this box that I can touch, see, feel, and move around. But it's about spirit. And when we go into talking about spirit, that now implies, is it religion or is it spirit? And shamanism is not religion, it is spirit. And so people confuse that, and they are so entrenched in religious upbringings that anything outside of that religious box is now something evil, something dark, something that's not accepted. And so this sort of runs through our world, our country, with all of these social mores and values that get put upon us that may be not so accurate, skew our opinion of what it is that we're trying to experience or trying to learn about or have heard about. And we don't approach it with an open mind and an open door to say, well, what is this? Let's get curious about it, right? And investigate it. So it is the mysteriousness of it, because I can't make you feel it or see it or taste it or smell it. It's all between us and spirit just is present with us always. So it makes it hard for folks to understand. No. No, it looks like you're muted.
Okay, how's that?
There, I can hear you.
Am I back?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you guys, so for the live, you just got to have that. And we're talking about mysticism and spirituality and religion and the unknown. And then my mic cuts out. That's always fun when that happens.
Yeah. Spirit likes to play with electronics.
Are we still in a Mercury retrograde, or is that done?
I don't know.
I don't always
I know there's a full moon that started this morning, though.
Oh, well, hello,
Yes.
full moon. Hello, full moon. Okay, let's just ask everybody around us that the rest of this show goes on with ease and grace.
Exactly.
Okay, well, my last question about your background is then how did art get into all of this because I can see how it's a natural progression with you and how you are. But what made you, and I'm married to an artist. I always get curious when people infuse art into their world.
Mhm. I met an artist at one of the conferences I was presenting at, and she does sacred geometry, and the sacred geometry on my walls are part of her works. This is the heart, and this one is a soul star. They're both for the chakras. And she was given the tools to bring forward this artwork of sacred geometry to raise the vibration of our chakras, of our whole energies, of our hearts, our minds, and our spirits. And I resonated with her work so much that I like purchased almost everything she had on her table at the conference, because I resonated with it so well. And we started working together, and I started to use the chakra discs. This is one of them. This is
Ooh, that's powerful.
yeah.
I can't believe my power didn't cut out after you pulling that one on the screen.
This is called the 13th ray of light. So I started using these discs in my practice on my clients with their energies and balancing their chakras. And I found absolute outstanding results occurred and was able to document all of that. And I started sharing it with her, and we became more friendly. And then we wrote the book together, The Art of Raising Frequency and Raising Our Vibration. And so that's how I got started in it. And I realized that, we are a big piece of sacred geometry. And if you look at our one skin cell underneath a high powered microscope, you're going to see all of the sacred geometry, the sacred shapes that are present in the universe.
And we're 80% water. And if you look at water under a microscope, it's all sacred geometry as well.
It is, absolutely. And so when the artwork is put in front of us or in our energy field or on our body, it resonates with us and it realigns the energies to go back into its natural shape. For instance, a client was having a problem with her second chakra. And as I looked at the chakra, it was like all skewed up and energy was flying all over the place. And there was no continuity, no harmonious movement to the energy itself. So I took the chakra disc for the second chakra and I placed it right on top of her second chakra, her sacral chakra. And within seconds, I could see the energy starting to reconfigurate and come back together and become unified back in to the sacred geometry shape that it was supposed to be in. And the problem resolved spontaneously. It was amazing.
So what causes I keep seeing the word funkiness of the second chakra?
Well, and anything that has to do that might violate your ability to trust or to stifle your creativity or to take away your joy and your inspiration for life, any kind of trauma. Unfortunately, those who have been at the hands of sexual abuse, second chakra, first chakra, disarrays all of that energy and all of the beautiful things that our chakras have to give us just get lost in that trauma and in that stress. And this woman in particular, she was having a miscarriage at the time. And that disc realigned the energies of the whole entire second chakra, which is also called the womb chakra. Mm-hmm. And she stopped having a miscarriage. And I'm proud to say that little boy is now 14 years old. And he's wonderful and beautiful. And she never lost that baby.
Oh, well, and just to really connect the dots, everybody, as you're hearing this powerfulness. Now, we had Antonia Harmon on the show, and she talked about the theory of it's like thought. Now, of course, it's gone. thoughts turn into liquid, turn into solid. So what Dr. Gail did is she helped the thoughts, she helped the energy before it got worse. She intercepted that. And I just see that you were working with that soul of that little boy and the mother. I mean, that was powerful, powerful work that you did
It
using
was,
simple tools and energy and your gifts and abilities.
yeah. And I say, it wasn't me so much that did. I'm a conduit for the energy. Obviously, all healers are conduits.
Of course.
I don't take credit for it. I'm just grateful to have been a part of it and facilitated the process for her. And it was the sacred geometry that pulled it together. And
You were an energetic midwife.
I was.
You were an energetic midwife. This is my thing that happens on shows is I just start doing these little Kelly channels. I'm like, oh, she was an energetic midwife. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love working with babies in the womb, because one other time I got a call. This gal's grandchild in the womb had congenital problems with the kidney and with the heart, and she wanted me to do some energy work on this child. And so I got out my discs and I started working with the energies and rebalancing the energies of this fetus in the womb. And through a couple of sessions, that child was born with no kidney damage and no heart issues. Now, how do you explain something that was shown up on ultrasound as abnormal, and then 3 months later it's gone because that child had 3 energy sessions between the time? So by balancing and restoring the natural pathways of the energy going through the body, that little baby was able to heal himself. And we can do that as adults too. It's not just
right. I was just about to say, like, it's so brilliant on our gifts and abilities as humans, and we just aren't curious enough and believe in our own godlike abilities to do this. And we are, and you are, and you're a way shower. You are a wise woman that's tried. Like, I love all of I love all the modalities that you've studied, because you're able to come in when I have this tool. I'm going to put the disc on her womb and we're going to help this. We're going to do an energy session on this baby. And not only did the baby benefit, but then the mother benefited, and then their families benefit. I mean, like, I just see this huge ripple effect of you doing those energy sessions.
Right. And so the whole thing about balancing the disrupted energy pathways that are through our body for whatever stressor we were exposed to, the whole benefit is that once they are realigned, the body wants to heal, so it will heal itself.
Right. So how does daily stress and trauma affect the balance and energy of the nervous system? Now we have the stress of walking into Mayo in the emergency room, and there's that kind of stress. And then there's the high pressure stress, but there's also the daily stress of just waking up in the morning and turning on the TV, which I highly recommend people don't do in the morning, unless it's to listen to like calmness. But how does that daily stress affect the balance? Because and then what are some tips and tricks and tools that we can do throughout the day to, when we might be able to be like, oh, here we go, and to know that we're off? Okay, I just asked you 4 different questions, 5 different ways, and I'm going to shut up now.
Okay. So daily stress. The world is filled with other people's energies, other event energies, stressful energies, negative energies, if you want to use that word. And when we wake up in the morning, we are in the throngs of it. It surrounds us. Maybe our home is very nice and peaceful and calm, but when we walk outside that door, we are stepping into the world, and it's greeting us with all of this combined energy from all around, from the construction workers, from the dogs barking, from somebody screaming at their kids, whatever, the traffic, the horns, all of this, people passing each other, all of that excitable energy. It is stress energy. It's not calm and peaceful. And so what happens is it gets on us, it breaks us down, and our little aura that protects us gets beat up. It's like spraying it with a high powered washer and putting holes through it. And then all that stress energy just filters right on in, and it works its way to the physical body. And so all of a sudden now I've got all this muscle tension. I'm feeling upset. I'm feeling tight. My jaw's hurting. I got a headache, and I don't know why. You know, all I did was walk out the door, and now look at this. What's the world done to me, right?
Right, right.
Yeah. So we get angry and we blame. But the whole thing is, if we were to prepare ourselves to walk out into that world before we got there, we would be resilient against those stressors. And then we don't have those harmful effects coming onto us, because our energies greet the stress first. When they get beat down, then we get physical symptoms and we get sick. The root of all illness has been documented for decades and decades and decades: stress. Every single illness is a result of a stress or a culmination of multiple stressors. It's usually a lot, and it doesn't have to be a big bad thing. It's the everyday stuff that makes us stressful.
So give me some more symptoms one might experience when they're unbalanced in the daily stress and they're walking through. And is there three energy fields? You have the outer, you have the like the medium shell, and then you have the inner part of your aura. So if you think about that stress coming through all of these and then getting to you,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and there's actually 7 layers to that aura,
Okay.
and every layer is connected to a chakra. So when one layer gets hurt, a chakra is getting hurt. So it's already working its way in towards the body, because the chakras lie within our body. So yeah, it's a lot of stress that we walk through, and it beats us up all the time. So other things we might feel is maybe we just get on edge, and we're just like, we're snapping at people, and when we're usually kind and friendly, and all of a sudden you're angry and you're frustrated, like, what's going on with her today? You know,
Right.
what happened there? Or maybe you're crying. You know, I'm weepy. Why am I weeping? All I'm doing is looking at the trees and I'm weeping. So what's going on there? It doesn't correlate with why, you know, trees shouldn't make me cry. But there's something inside me that's stressed, that it's coming out when I do whatever. Maybe I'm not sleeping good. All of a sudden, I don't sleep at night, fitful sleeping, and I'm exhausted when I wake up. So I start out my day being exhausted, and then I get more exhausted because, oh my God, now I got to go to a job that I don't really like all that much. And there's going to be, you know, this XYZ, and I got to work 12 hours. And, you know, so you're anticipating the stress of the day already before you even get to the job. Maybe you just start throwing things about the room and having just behavior issues, sort of like a little kid having a temper tantrum.
Right.
Kids have temper tantrums because they're experiencing energy they don't know what to do with.
Right.
We do the same thing, only we don't call it a temper tantrum. We just call it being ticked off, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Maybe
kind of like in traffic. Like being in traffic, there's a stress, but then I keep seeing it's when you're at an airport. And I don't know many airports that I've been in where it's just super calm. Unless it's like 11 o'clock at night or like there's nobody there. But you know there's always this. Actually, you know what's the worst airport is the Orlando airport with all of these parents who are trying to go to Disney or Orlando activities, and they're spending all this money, and they're like, and then they're like this, and then the kids are like this, and we're supposed to be having the greatest day of our lives. And it's just this energy. I don't know why I'm doing an airport analogy, but I think that for me is a sign of when you're at an airport, people are just there's just all these different layers of stress. You don't see a lot of people just kind of like meandering through an airport with a smile on their face, just kind of like strolling to the plane.
Right, right. They're always stressed. And one of the things I do when I'm in an airport is I make sure that people see me doing things to help me relax and be calm. And then I see them mimicking me, which is really fun to do.
Okay, what do you do at the airport? Give us the airport trips. Come on, let's do it.
So I just make like I'm doing a big stretch, and I stretch, and I just stand up here and do it.
Stand up and do it.
Just stretch. And then one hand goes up to the heavens and one hand down to the earth. And I just stretch and I breathe. And then I do the other side. And what happens here is I'm opening up all my lymphatics, dumping toxins out and opening the meridian flows. And I'm grounding myself. And that brings me peace and harmony within. And when I breathe and I just settle in, I exude the confidence. I exude the being grounded and safe and calm. And the next person standing next to me, all of a sudden, they start stretching. And then somebody else, then the little kids start doing it. So I got all these people in the annex room that are waiting to get on the plane, calm, because they just grounded themselves. And it's so fun.
Good for you. That's so awesome.
Fun. At first I thought, they're going to think I'm nuts, and then I thought, but I am nuts, so I don't care. I do it. Yeah, so that works, and I do that in every stressful line. Waiting in line is stressful. You're wasting my time. I got this to do, blah, blah, blah. And so then grocery lines, I start doing it wherever. And it makes a difference.
Oh, I'm going to start doing it everywhere. Like I'm going to call it the Gail. Like I'm Gailing again. Like I'm Gailing again. We're going to trademark that. Like, right? Oh my gosh. We just had our event last weekend and like almost 900 people through the door. And you can't imagine.
Yeah, everybody should have been doing.
Right? Well,
and
their insurance wanted us to have a waiver, and it was electronic. So you can imagine, the people that are like, I don't want to do this, and I didn't bring my phone, so you can just see that there's anxiety. They just want to get into the space. And then, of course, I'm the girl right before they go into the door, putting the bands on and doing that. And I was just trying to do energy work on everybody. And it was really interesting that I tapped their wrist when they were done with just a little, like, I don't know what I was doing, but like I did it. And then I did a 3 tap to I think everybody. And they went in smiling. At least they forgot about the big line. But I should have been out there being like, do this, everybody. You're going to get through fast. Let's get you grounded and float in. That would have been beautiful.
Well, another thing that you can do that's very easy is because the aura has an electromagnetic surrounding, which is called the Celtic weave. And it is the infinity of the figure 8. So what you can do is just start tracing figure 8s around you to reinforce and strengthen your aura and patch up the little holes that the stress has put in there, and it clears it and it helps ground you. And then the aura can communicate to all your other energy systems in a nice, calm way. And then the body gets what it needs. And so figure 8s, and it helps to stop stress reactions, and it heals wounds, and it gets rid of pain when you do figure 8s. Like if I hit my wrist on the wall, I do figure 8s over it, and bam, the pain just starts to dissipate, and within moments, it's gone.
That is fantastic. So for someone new to energy and they're doing the figure 8s, what's a way they'll know when they don't have to do the figure 8 anymore? Is it just a knowing? Is it a feeling? Do you just
stop? You just stop. You just, however your body feels. And when you've done it enough, then you just stop.
Do you advise people to close their eyes or to count, or just keep doing it until it's okay?
Just do it. And another thing about the figure 8 is if you do it from your heart chakra out like this, you are connecting and attaching your aura back to your body. That stress removes that attachment. And then going through the heart center, that energy goes out through the whole torus of all your energies, and it helps to repair all the way around.
Oh, yeah. Like I want to I'm going to do like all my chakras. I'm not going to do it on the show, but like, oh my gosh, that is
Absolutely.
my chakras are like whoop, 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 whoop. That feels nice.
Yeah.
It's like a massage for your chakras.
It is for your whole energy, your whole body. And it heals wounds too. That's the other beautiful thing about it. That it re-knits the energies back together so the body can heal. Again, it's about
oh my gosh, you guys
having the opportunity.
Okay. So tell us about you working with clients. What do you offer to your client? Because I think you just teed this up to this beautiful discussion of your offers and your services. I mean, I know. Thank you for offering a 30-minute, consultation for questions and services for people to get to know you. That is amazing. And everybody go to drgailv.com and book that. I mean, if you're not curious right now after, just what she's given us with these beautiful, the Gail, like Gailing, and then the eights, that's fantastic. And I really, please reach out to us and let us know. Include the figure eights in your daily practice. The stretching. I mean, even just stretching in the morning or set an alarm at 11:11 and 3:33 to get up and do the Gale. Like, right? Just like do that and like maybe do it 3 times and just ground and then breathe and then like set it with a figure eight. And I mean, it doesn't cost anything. It's really good. It can be whoop, whoop, whoop. And that's amazing. So you offer the complimentary 30-minute energy consultations for questions and to check in and just kind of make sure that you guys are aligned. But tell me about if someone is dealing with stress right now and they're kind of in the spin. What is working with you look like?
I empower everyone with knowledge, and I give them handouts that has the energy tools like this stretching to heaven and earth, the Gailing thing, but it's not really the Gailing thing, but it is. I love it. I like that. I like that a lot. But so I give them tools called the daily energy routine that you can do for yourself every day and bring forward that vitality and that resilience that we need to have before we walk out our doors. I always give something to process the energy shifts. We're all going to shift the energy and we have to process it. So we work through the neurovascular points of the head, through the nervous system, because all energy shifts as an emotion and it processes out the emotions. It also balances your 5 rhythms, all of your meridians, and the meridians go to the organs. So it's balancing the organs and the organ system. So it's like a whole body balancing thing that I empower you to use every day. And then we need to activate our vagus nerve. So I give a really quick, easy tool to vagus to balance and activate.
Is that right here?
Well, it's not through there. It's through behind the ears.
Oh, behind the ears. What's the one right here that you're supposed to pound every day?
Well, that's the center dantian, right in the heart chakra. Yeah. Yep. But to access the vagus nerve very easy, middle finger to right behind the earlobes against the head, and breathe and just hold your face.
This is not going to look pretty, guys, but we're doing it.
Yeah. And so the vagus nerve is the antidote to the sympathetic nervous system, which produces the fight-flight response. And it doesn't get activated enough. And that's why there's so much stress, because this sits quietly. I'm
trying a new product out for the magazine called Pulsetto. Have you heard it? It's a vagus nerve stimulator. Mm-hmm. I would have brought it if I would have known we've been talking about that today, but you put it around like a little, it's like a little, it's not a horseshoe, but it's kind of like a horseshoe. and then it has these little electric nodes that go right here.
Yeah.
And then you dial it in and you do it like 7 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day. And there's like different, and it's tied to your phone. I've screwed it up. I don't know how I've done something with my phone right now. It works with my husband's phone, but not my phone right now. So,
Well,
but
you can just use your little energy
like,
hands and
yes,
do it.
I like
There's
that.
no electronics involved. And you just hold and breathe, and you activate the vagus nerve. You release the good calming hormones. You shut off the stress hormones. It tells the sympathetic nervous system to stop the fight flight. And it brings about peace and calm and joy and relaxation. And then you can, you know what? Then you can think, because then the prefrontal cortex of your brain gets activated finally, and you can make good decisions instead of the wrong ones, because this checks out with stress. So we don't make good decisions under stress.
Do you know what's interesting is teachers should have kids do this before taking a test.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
You know, it's funny. Go for it.
There's tools in the daily energy routine that work with unscrambling the brain and getting you to think better. So before I have to read something, study something, even when I was in training, taking tests, I would do these maneuvers and put my brain back into order. And I, did really well. It worked.
Oh, I'm sure you did really well. Oh no, this is fantastic. Okay. So you offered, so I invite everybody to check in drgailv.com, book that complimentary 30-minute energy consultation. But talk to me about your in-person energy healing at the Hermitage Farm Center of Healing in Rochester.
Okay, I have an energy studio there. It looks a lot like what you see behind me, a lot of sacred geometry. It is a very serene place. Everyone gets a little bit of a consult when we first get in to get things established. And I ask about your goals. What do you want? What are you struggling with? What in your life is not in balance that you want to get fixed? So then I do a gentle detox, and I release the toxins that you're holding by doing what we call a spinal flush. And it's like a back massage, and flush out those toxins and get them circulating so that your body can eliminate them, because we hold the toxins in and they don't move. So we do that. And then I do energy testing by using kinesiology to see what meridians are out of balance, what chakras are out of balance, and finding out what, if you're saying I have pain in my hip, I will check all those areas around there. What might be leading to this pain in your hip? And maybe it's the pain in the shoulder that's causing the pain in the hip, but you don't feel it here, you feel it in the hip. So through kinesiology, I can track the energy movement through the body and find out what's imbalanced and just target it really quickly and get right to the source of the problem. Then we do some neurovascular work to process out those extraneous emotions that we stuff back all day long, and bring those forward so they can process out of the body. And they literally dissolve out of the body. They just disappear. I work with the toes too. I do some foot, this is like a reflexology thing, but it brings the energy from the head all the way down through the whole body and out the feet in a balanced way. And it uses the meridians and the chakras through that pathway to help us heal. And that's called the Brazilian toe. It's ancient Amazonian medicine from the shamans there.
Okay, how did you learn that one?
I learned that in Eden Energy Medicine from Donna Eden. Yeah, she has given me an amazing toolkit to use. An amazing toolkit.
Well, it just makes sense. If you're flushing everything and to pull those toes, and I get reflexology once a month, and it's so fascinating what we need to do to our feet. And our feet are grounding, and they carry stuff, but they're also an exit point too.
Right. Right. And so are the hands.
And so are the
Hands
hands.
in and out too. And so does the crown chakra. So we want to keep these things open and flowing and, stretching and movement. Yeah. Moving that energy through.
Okay, so that's an in-person session. Now talk to me, because you not only do in-person, but you do distant and remote energy healing sessions as well.
Right. And the distance energy is done through the quantum field. And you would be in we'll just give an instant. You would be in your room, quiet, safe place. I will be in my studio, quiet, safe place. And then I go into a meditative state and I step into the quantum realm with the guides and the spirit and the angels. And once I'm there and connected, then I call upon your energy to come forward. So your guides come forward and your angels and bring your energies to me. And it's just like I'm looking at you. I can see everything about your physical, your energetic body. And it speaks to me very quickly as to what's not balanced and what is balanced. And the guides are there to help me know what's the priority for this session. And then sometimes I do energy testing. In fact, I do a lot of energy testing because the little human in me always wants to have it on paper. So I do the energy testing because I want to compare for next time to see, did it work? Did it not work? Is it still balanced? Are you doing your homework or not? So it says a lot. So I do a lot of energy testing. And then I start opening the energy flows and rebalancing and bringing those energy systems back online, and pulling them all together until you're a radiant being again, shining your light. And those imbalanced dark energies are gone. And you're now fresh, clean, white light. Then I send you home.
Oh my gosh. I actually went there with you. I was just like, ooh, we were in the quantum field and I like this. I'm like, ooh, this is so much fun. For anybody that, and I didn't prep this question, it's just popping up. For anyone that doesn't believe that remote sessions are as powerful as in-person sessions, talk to us about that.
Okay, so I will ask somebody, I have a conversation with them afterwards. I said, what did you notice during our session? And they were in their room, I'm in my room. There's no communication by phone or video. It's just all through the quantum field. And they said, I felt you opening up my chakras and clearing my chakras. And I felt a huge emotional release when you got to my heart chakra. I could feel that. And all of that stuff I had stuck in there just opened and left. And I sobbed for a few minutes and then I felt peace again. They knew exactly.
Ding, 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 ding. Like we've got a winner on that one. That's fantastic.
And so many people who do sense energies will be able to say exactly, they know exactly what I'm doing when I'm doing it. They can feel the energy shifts. But then there's people who don't feel energy at all, but it still moves and it still helps them heal. They just don't feel it, but it still works.
Well, just in case you're not in Rochester or within the driving area, I just want everyone to know that Dr. Gail does do these distance and remote. And that's why I backed in that question, because it's so powerful. And to be able, and I was watching you, like while you were talking, I go into the quantum field and I'm like, there she goes. And then she's going here and then she's going here. Like, that's amazing. And you're doing it without being on the phone. You're not doing a Zoom call. You just set an agreed upon time that I'll be doing this at 10 o'clock and we ask you to be quiet. Or can someone be doing their normal day during this? Or do you prefer them being quiet and really tapping in with you?
Energy is going to move no matter what. But I will say this, that this is a time for you to be with yourself for that hour. We don't spend time with ourselves, reflecting on our heart and being in our own space. So I want people to be in their own space. I want them to be quiet, relaxed, Yes, they can get up and get a glass of water or look out the window or go to the restroom, but no computers, no driving, no running errands. Oh my God, somebody was running errands when I was trying to work on her, and I was getting tossed all over and I kept losing my connection. And I'm like, I called her, I go, what was going on? She goes, oh, I was running errands. I'm like, well, no wonder I couldn't stay connected to her because she was out in traffic. It's like crazy stuff. But so yeah, be peaceful and calm and relaxed. And then you can allow yourself to relax, release, and receive. And that's something else we don't do very well is receive. We need to be able to receive. And when we do that in our space, then we receive our own love first, and then we receive the healing energies next. And we
Okay.
heal.
How do we get people to start receiving?
Number one, don't be afraid of it and quit thinking you've got to be this big, strong, huge person who doesn't need help, because we are all human beings and we all need help. And it's not a weakness to ask for help. It is a strength. And the sooner we recognize that we are stronger for asking than we are for ignoring, because that's just going to make us sicker, we heal. And then we empower ourselves. When we ask for help and we get something positive out of it, it's like, yeah, I'm going to do that again next time. I'm empowering myself to care for myself. Self-care. Because we are taught we're not important. Everyone else in the world is important but us. So I'm going to take care of everything else. And you can all, I'm going to just take the leftovers if there's any parts left. Well, those leftovers might be riddled with cancer or have some awful autoimmune disease going on or some other disease because we're not caring for ourselves first. I mean, the airlines got it right, people. Let's pay attention here. Put your own oxygen mask on first before you help someone else. Because if you don't have oxygen, you're not going to breathe. You're going to be dead, right? So care for yourself first. So then when I care for me and I'm in good balance and a priority, I can do whatever else it is I need to do and care for those that need my attention with my strength, not through my weakness of being exhausted and fatigued because I'm not taking care of me.
And there's two things of an and on top of that is when you ask for help and a person meets you there and can help you, you're actually helping them heal as well because they're able to be generous and they're able to give.
Right.
Something that I used to do when someone would say, give me a compliment, I would come up with every excuse in the book. I mean, I total Minnesota, Midwestern, whatever thing of just, oh. Or someone says, that's a beautiful dress. And you're like, oh my God, I got it at a thrift store. Or like, so we discredit it right away. And I finally had someone much smarter and much wiser than me say, when someone gives you a compliment, all you have to do is say thank you.
That's right.
Just say thank you.
Yeah. And then it goes in you and it's like, wakes up a little bit of you and says, oh, that was a good thing.
That was a good thing.
And you didn't justify it. You just said thanks. Yeah.
Right. Like those are, and again, giving someone the opportunity to shine and help and assist and then pay it forward. That's the other thing, as when somebody else asks for help, then help somebody else. I mean, it's these super little things. And kind of like what you said about religion and there's societal programming or whatever it may be. I think we're programmed subconsciously, like we don't even know it, to ask for help. Someone told me the other day, like, men don't cry. And I'm like, a good cry never hurt anybody. Like, go for it. Right. Do it.
Men need to cry. Men need to feel emotions. I mean, because they are, of all of us, forced to be in this macho, I'm tough, I'm strong, I don't cry, I don't have emotions, I just do what needs to be done. Well, but you're still a human being and you forgot about that side of your spirit. And you're just in this little earthly mode that's like stress. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Because it's not a weakness. It's a
no. Well, I learned it in real time around New Year's. My father-in-law, who is very stoic, like very stoic, he went through prostate cancer and 39 rounds of radiation. They fried his pelvis, so he had to have screws put in, and I mean, like, he had all of this happen. Just did that the whole time. Like, just did that. And around New Year's, which is Christmas, and it's his birthday, it's my husband's birthday, it's my son's birthday, so we're all together. And he had AFib, and he had to have the paddles done.
Oh,
So, like 2 days after the paddles, he's hosting Christmas, or we had a Christmas, you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
And it's kind of like it's kind of at the end of the night, and the whole family is around circling. And I looked at him, I was like, "Mike, how are you doing?" And now when I asked that, I'm not just like, "How are you doing?" I was like, "Mike, like, seriously, how you doing?" And he started to cry. And what was
Good.
interesting with it, I know, I was so proud of him. Everybody, including his wife and kids, except me, stared at him because they didn't know what to do because the man does not show emotion. So I push people aside and give him a huge hug. And I'd like a big bear hug. And he just melted into me.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Birthday. I just gave it to you." Like, right? And I'm being sassy, yet then he felt safe in my arms, and he felt safe to do that. And I just want people to know that it was an honor. He filled my cup up because I was able in that moment to help to hold space and hold energy for him. And
Right.
gosh, he needed that cry, and I was so proud that he did it.
Yeah.
Like,
And you gave him permission to do it again in the future because it was safe with this experience with you.
yeah.
So it's okay to go forward with that again. Yeah.
There's a beauty in the breakdown, and that's, I think, where I'm going with it, is that you are a safe, wise woman, and that a part of my invitation for our audience, for people hearing this, is that transitioning some of these old thought patterns, whether it's religion, whether it's cultural, whether it's society, into the new energy, into the new earth, and believing that the divine beings that we are, we need guides. We need wise souls who have been doing the work. And oh my God, you do the work, you're peeling the onion back. And then you're like, "Oh my God, I'm almost in the middle." And then you're like, "Shit, there's another onion." Like, right?
Yeah.
This spiritual awakening, or this transition, or whatever it may be, is not for the faint of heart. It's not rainbows and unicorns. And to have trusted people like Dr. Gail on your team, holding space for you, asking you courageous questions, but then also being on your team. I just keep seeing, like, on the team with your gifts and abilities is so powerful. And I really want to invite you to just reach out to Dr. Gail, drgailv.com. Take that 30-minute consultation. And, I believe that you're a straight shooter, that if you're working with someone, or you have that 30-minute consultation and you don't think it's a win-win for everybody, that you have a black book of people that you can be like, "You know what? We're not a match. You can do this, or you can do that, or here's a resource, or here's a guide, or try this." I do believe, though, with just your energy and who you are, you help so many people. And then now we're going to go back to the hospital. This is the nurse that was working at Mayo, not only helping the practitioners and the patients, using the data, but oh my gosh, you guys. And, something that I would always be fascinated when I talk to nurses, and I always was fascinated to talk with the ED or the NICU. Those are the two departments that I really gravitated to, that asking, you don't get downtime to go and say, "We just lost someone," and have the human experience of grieving. You have 10 other people or patients or things to do. So by you working on the staff and the team members and the caregivers is such a powerful gift that you gave them. And you gave them tools that they're going to be able to use the rest of their lives.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing is all the tools that I share, you take those forward for the rest of your days, and they will always have a benefit for you. There will be something that will benefit you, which is grand.
Which is totally grand. Okay. So if you're curious, but you're maybe in the area, I'm gonna share some events that Dr. Gail is gonna be at for you to connect with her. If you just want to go and say hi, you saw her on the Being Curious show, you saw her in Edge magazine. She's latest issue. There's her beautiful ad. I'm not doing well with the camera. There are some ways for you to meet with her. So August, tell us about Frequency Flow Fest in, is it Mazeppa?
Yeah, Mazeppa, Minnesota at Steeplechase ski hill. There's a little ski hill out there. They're having a 4-day festival with music and vendors and education and speakers and all kinds of fun things to do. And there's 4 of us practitioners from Hermitage Farm Center for Healing who are going to have a big tent out there. And we're going to be offering little 20-minute balancing sessions and sound healing, massage, energy medicine, meridian balancing. We'll use some crystals and drums and rattles, and we'll have a shamanic healer doing Reiki and have her wares there. So we're going to just be part of the whole fun thing.
Oh my gosh. So you're going to be in Frequency Flow. Like, there you go with that.
Yeah.
August 17th, the Herbal Table, Flavor, Healing, and Wholeness at Live 125 in Rochester. Tell me about that.
Well, I'm teaming up with May Lee, and she does all of the organic whole plant food nutrition, and I'm bringing forward all the herbs, and most of the herbs I grow in my garden, and we're going to use it, and I'll give examples of how it can be medicine, how you can use it as culinary dishes, and what pairings you can pull together with different herbs to make different cultural dishes and such like that. And then we're going to have food for everybody to try.
Oh my gosh, you're filling up my calendar. Okay, well then there's an event that's a little near and dear to me, September 19th, Art on the Edge. Oh my God, you guys, Art on the Edge this year is going to be so fantastic. Father Hennepin Park in Minneapolis. You're going to have a booth there. Oh my gosh, I'm just going to camp out at your booth. I'm just going to hang out there all day, like, right? Like, Eric, you can do all the work. I'm gonna be hanging out with Dr. Gail, and everyone just can come there. And you know what's interesting is we're gonna be doing a pet adoption event. It'd be interesting to put you next to the animals and the dogs that are gonna be up for adoption, because just radiating your energy could also have some calmness with them.
Well, I do animal therapy too.
Of course you do. That's awesome.
I mean, in the nature healing in animals, I mean, I do that. And I did work with a stressed dog a couple weeks ago, and their owner told me, oh my gosh, what a difference it has made in this dog's life. They are now calm and peaceful and not just fearful all the time. So, I mean, pets need it too.
Pets need it too. They really do. Okay, October 3rd, discover the healing power within you, self-care tools for life at the Hermitage Farm Center. That's going to be a good one.
This is a class that myself and one of my colleagues, Dahlia Gamal, she is a pediatrician and a geneticist by trade, and she's an energy medicine healer. And we are going to tailor this program to our attendees so that we give you something for whatever issues you're dealing with. We're going to teach you and empower you with that knowledge to take that forward, in addition to just learning some basics of how do we keep that resiliency going and the vitality and reaching that higher vibration.
And then sustaining it, like, right? Because that's important. Okay, then October 30th and 31st, All Hallows Eve celebrations with the Old Bone Mother and Throwing Bones Hermitage Farm Center. Okay, that's going to be cray-cray. Like, that's going to be fun, isn't it?
It is going to be a lot of fun. There are 2 events on the 30th and the 31st, so we are really getting into that hollow moment. And the Old Bone Mother, we're going to take you on a journey into her cave, and we're going to work on healing parts of the soul and restoring that new essence that was lost along the way. And then we're going to have tools there for you to make your own personal protection pouch that you can have with you all the time.
Okay, then talk to me about November 4th. Align your body's 5 natural rhythms for healing, balance, and vitality. And that's also going to be, the Hermitage Farm Center sounds like a really magical place.
It is a very magical place. A lot takes place there. So this is a workshop that I'm doing. It's an all-day workshop, and it's going to be about integrating your 5 rhythms, your water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. The Chinese wheel is what I use, and finding where are you unbalanced and rebalancing and calibrating and letting you see how connected those 5 elements are to how you put yourself forward in this world or not. And we give you tools to balance, that you can keep them balanced so that you go forward in harmony.
You're the real deal, my lady. I love it. Gailing. Right? Okay, everybody, drgailv.com. Email is healing@drgailv.com. She's on all the socials, and the telephone number of 507-244-1994. Dr. Gail, how do you want to close the show out?
I want everyone to know that it's okay to say no, and we need to do that a little bit more, and to know that you are perfect the way you are. And all we have to do is tweak those little energy systems, and you'll go forward and shine. So thank you.
I have nothing. I have no other further comments. That was beautiful. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for watching the Being Curious show. Did that feel like an hour 10? That was an hour 10.
Was it really? No.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, you guys. It was, and we had all these beautiful people watching live, and you're going to be able to watch the replay on YouTube and all our socials. Like and subscribe to the Edge Network. We are growing. We are meeting beautiful people, and it's an honor to meet you, Dr. Gail, and I will be gailing.
Thank you.
Always.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Something new is unfolding at the Edge. The latest issue of Edge Magazine is here, filled with voices that awaken your heart, expand your mind, and remind you that you're part of something much bigger. Explore conscious living, holistic wellness, energy healing, spirituality, and the art of awakening, all in one inspiring space. Awaken, discover, connect, and be curious. Print editions are now on the streets, and you can also read it online at edgemagazine.net. Welcome to the Edge. We have been waiting for you. You are right where you are supposed to be. Welcome home.